Alright, I'm gonna lead wires going to the guide pickup. I'm gonna shorten them. I remove them, cut them shorter, and then put them back in. These are the two wires coming through right here and right here. And what I'm trying to ensure is that there's no solder. It is such fine detail work. There can't be any solder between the two connections. And with that zoomed in, I do see a little bit. That one looks good. So the purpose of shortening those wires was to keep our ferret man on this side of the chip. When we bring it over to connect to the white wires, there's not a lot of excess. So now we're going to cut these wires off to match them up to the wires coming from the pickup, from the guide pickup. Alright, so I've got my guide wires, my lead wires super glued into place. Got a hole, a new hole made right here. There you go, you can see it. You can see the green where I cut the hole out. The hole is the exact size of the diode for the chip. And the diode leads are bent over 90 degrees. So it will fit flat, and then the chip will sit right on top of it. So I'm going to use a hot glue gun to glue that diode down in place. From underneath, you can see the diode just poking through. I don't know how much the camera's going to pick up, but I pushed it all the way through, and you can see quite a bit of a bump sticking out the bottom of the chassis. We don't want that. We don't want to damage the diode with the track. So we're going to raise it up to where it's just poking through. So it's a little bit lower than the chassis, but not so low as it will drag and get damaged. On the track and damage the LED. Set that back down, line it up. Your hot glue gun. Glue it in place. Now I know that's the exact depth that I want. Okay, once the glue has set, hard, we're ready to fit the rest of the chip in. It's going to sit right there on top. So the back end will be on top of the magnet. The front part of the chip will be on top of the LED. It's going to sit just behind the body mount. Right here is the body mount. And just in front of the front motor pod mount right there. They're going to be in front of this hole, behind this hole. And we're going to use hot glue gun again. You see, I've already taken the driver out. It's easier to get everything fitted and then get him back in and cut. So we want the chip to set without any interference of the body not touching the chip in any way. Okay, as you can see, I put some heat sink on the lead wire. I've taken the capacitor lead wire, pushed a little bit up into the lead wire just to hold it. And I'm going to solder that joint right there. And then repeat for the other side. I like to push this capacitor lead wire, it's stiff, push it up into the insulation of my guide wire. Helps to hold everything nice and tight while I get the solder on. In order to get a good fit on the body, you have to tuck all of these wires really tight. Wires have to get really tight up underneath the chip. See that on both sides. And up top, I pushed him down right next to the capacitor, so I'm sure when I put the driver back in the body, the driver's going to need more cut out. So the chip, brand new, does not come with a second ferrite man, but a second ferrite man is required on the motor. Just like you see this old Scalextric car here with the ferrite man on the motor. So you can either buy that separately or take it off of an old car. Here at the racetrack we have lots of old cars. That's what I'm going to do here, is take this one off this old Scalextric motor and add it to this car. So I like to attach my ferrite man to the motor first, and then attach the wires to the ferrite man. So the way it goes is the capacitor connector gets connected to the motor, then you have the ferrite chip, and then your wires from the chip will go up here next to the capacitor. The black one and the red one. There you have the motor ferrite man installed. I'm going to put a piece of heat and sink over that and then fold that down. There we have it, the completed chip install. Two ferrite men, one at the beginning, one at the output of the chip, one at the input, one at the output. The lead wires ran underneath the chip. All the wires tucked nicely, and the body fits without touching anything. Yep, the driver is going to be a problem, but we will cover that when we get to the driver. We have to cut the bottom off of the driver, so be it.